Welcome to Wheel to Wheel. Today I have three people, not two, three. Thank you, Derek, for showing up today. We have a returning guest, me, Yin. We got Jack, and today we're gonna get in some more racing. Obviously, we had the return of F1. We had the Indianapolis. We had IndyCar, NASCAR doubleheader at Phoenix. So those are the main three things we're gonna talk about. We may talk a little bit about some other topics if we want to get into that. But we're going to start off with a little bit of NASCAR today. And since the race just ended, fresh in year two's mind, who wants to go first about their opinions on this race?
I'll leave it up to Derek because he's the big Ryan Blaney fan, the big man in the number 12 mustache man.
Yeah, I think it's a little interesting. I came into this year without a guy to really root for. Like I liked Reddick and Blaney, but my guy was always Justin Haley. He ended up going to the Truck Series. Didn't have a good year last year. Fair enough. So it's like I didn't know how to feel going into this year, right? Like I feel like last year the whole vibes just at the end were just terrible. Like everything with the championship, how Denny lost it, how Zilich lost it in Xfinity. It felt a bit rough, and then you come through the off season. They announced the change to the chase, which I thought was a good change. Not exactly what I wanted. I was better. They add more difference, and yeah. Then we had this what I thought was probably the biggest race in a while, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Phoenix. I don't know what it is about it. It's probably just a long streak of being dominated by the same people. Like obviously Harvick dominated this place back in the day, especially when Rodney Childers was his crew chief during the mid 2000s. And obviously Penske's been dominating this as of late. Just feels like those Fords, they just have the balance in the cars exactly where they want them. But recently it feels like the Toyota's been up there. So maybe it's me just being blind and loyalty to manufacturer because I've always been a GM Chevy guy. But yeah, like it just feels like this race usually always comes with like an asterisk. Like especially last year you have, Hamlin losing in the manner he did. Obviously, kind of feels a little undeserved for Larson to win in the way he did. But that's why we race. That's why we go a bazillion times around oddly shaped ovals. But I will say that this race this year was a lot of fun. Maybe it's the feeling that, if it's not the winning end anymore, it's no longer some gimmicked system, but you have these people who are fighting for wins. You have Hamlin, you have Bell, obviously Blaney, even Ty Gibbs. I'm not a huge Ty Gibbs fan, but man, he's fighting for win at this track too. And I don't know. I thought the racing up front was fantastic. Joey Logano got wrecked, so any day that happens is a great day. Yeah, super exciting race at Phoenix. I'm happy to see Blaney win. Obviously, he's been dominant at this track for a long time. I actually joked, I think earlier this weekend, I said, look, Blaney top 5 odds just look like free money. And I was like, is it a bad idea to put a mortgage out on Blaney winning? And I don't know, it feels like maybe I should have taken out my life savings and done that.
I'd say it's pretty bad to put the mortgage on anyone right now. So I unfortunately wasn't able to watch the race. But given by the way y'all talked about it, it sounded like a pretty decent race at least. One thing I will figure out one day, not today, why in the world all the fans hate Joey Logano, but it's the complete opposite for like the garage and stuff, because apparently everybody loves Joey Logano in NASCAR, but the fans hate him. I don't think I'll figure that out today, but one day, I don't know if it's running joke or anything. But this race is You're gonna have this race again later in the year, correct?
Yes, I think like late in the chase, but it's no longer the
Okay.
season finale, which I prefer, because the problem that I believe this track had is that it favored certain teams way more than others. And again, like, I get that. Like, I understand Ford is really good at these sort of tracks, right? Especially the Penske team. I understand Toyota just has a really good car. I get that. But it feels like, to me, Homestead's been the historical, season finale, and anybody can win at Homestead if they have the right setup. So why move away from that and instead put it in the hands of, essentially like only 2 drivers out of the top 4 that might actually have a chance to win? I mean, obviously last year is a weird one, but it is what it is.
So I'll touch a little on the Logano thing. He was this very hyped up prospect coming in, of course. He doesn't really start off well. He got to win his first year, kind of struggles. I think it's 2012. He wins a race, gives a little bump to Mark Martin out of the way at Pocono, which is not the best track for that kind of stuff. But like, nothing came of it really. But it was kind of seen as a little dirty thing back then, and it just snowballed. Like, when he joined Penske in 2013, no one really liked anyone at Penske, right? It was Keselowski, it was Kurt Busch, who at the time was really hated, and he just kept on this really aggressive driving that kind of rubbed people the wrong way, and he really didn't like when people did it to him.
Yeah. I mean,
by all accounts,
yeah.
A great guy off the track.
Yeah, by all accounts, great guy, but it just seems like he can't take the same punishment that he dishes out at times. I mean, a memorable moment for me was, like, he already won in that round to secure, and he's racing at Kansas. And Matt Kenseth, a guy who by all counts is a very, and everyone talks about, stays out of trouble, very calm guy, who was actually hired to replace him at Joe Gibbs Racing. And Logano comes up behind him, but Logano was already on to the next round. Kenseth is trying to fight to get to the next round. Like, if he wrecks here, this could end his entire run. Logano dumps him, essentially. Everybody knows that Logano tried to wreck him. And it's like, it ends Matt Kenseth's playoff run. And then later on, Logano needs like a win to advance and end up at Martinsville. And I'll never forget Matt Kenseth, who already got wrecked, was laps down, hunts down Joey Logano, and absolutely junks him in between turn 1 and 2. And oh my God, the crowd went crazy. Everybody was a Matt Kenseth fan that day, myself included. So, and then, by the way, Matt, who didn't even complain after getting dumped by Joey a couple races prior, like, got suspended. Joey, on the other hand, goes out and complains and is like, oh my God, like, this is so unfair. It's like, maybe you shouldn't be going out wrecking people when you already got your spot secured in the next round. Like, that's just kind of a little, you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's a great video by Emp Lemon that kind of spends a good chunk of time focusing on that. Definitely worth the watch. It's a great video, but that's why a lot of people hate Joey Logano, myself included.
Okay, that does make sense, and then it snowballs into a running gag, I suppose. And obviously, a gag that, damn, I'm missing my words, but let's get into Ryan Blaney's win and what this does for him in the championship. It obviously brings down the massive gap to Tyler Reddick. But does this win put him ahead of Bubba?
Yes, he is currently second.
Mm-hmm.
Still 60 points behind Reddick, so that's still a huge gap.
60?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did Reddick place what this race?
He was near the back end of the top 10.
Yep.
He finished 8th.
Yep.
Got some stage points, so it's still a good points day for him.
Yeah. Very solid day
So
for
he-
Reddick.
So he had a good points day. He still keeps this massive lead. And top 18 make the chase, correct? Or 16?
16.
Okay, 16.
Yeah.
So, knowing that, how important do you think it's going to be for these other drivers to cut down into Reddick's lead? Or does Reddick's lead matter going into the chase? Because I know you see a 60-point gap, and it's just like, damn, that's a huge gap to pull out that early in the season. But given NASCAR's format, how much does that matter